everybody, and welcome, finally, to the Gopherwatch League Season 3 award show. It's been a long time coming, and let's just say there's a lot of awards on here that are very deserving to give out. I don't know what's going with there, but anyway, thank you all so much for playing in Season 3. We hope you had a great time. Again, a final congratulations to the Gaming Dolls for taking it home. I am here in my amazing studio, as always, where the answer of, do I have lights in this room, is actually answered to yes. No second mic this time either, no 3 mics like last draft, but we're finally here, ready to give out our coveted awards. Everybody fights for these awards all season long. And let's just say, it's exciting because we finally have our own Twitch channel. That's different, that's new, so hope everybody's excited for that. The jazz is too loud. It's absolutely like at 0 on my screen, but hey, I'll turn it down. Hopefully that's better. Looking at the desktop audio, it's down quite a bit, so hopefully not blowing out your ears anymore. It did not change. Still can't hear shit. What? What are you guys hearing? I see. Aha. Try that. How's that? Better? So what happens when you have a fun little MP4 playing in the background? It comes with sound. So you gotta make sure to mute that. But so now that's out of the way, I sadly do not have my co-host over here, Tomer, with me today. Out of his power, so it's just me, the commissioner. That's all we're gonna get. Now, I can go ahead and turn down the generic award music in the background a little bit because we have a whole hour playlist of that going, so get used to it. But we are going to be starting off here with our all-pro teams. Of course, this is very equivalent to a Roll Stars and Overwatch League. This is the best at the best of their positions. So let's go ahead and start off with the third team All-Pro selection. And here it is, straight up with our tank line of Fancy and BBQ, very strong there. Trey and Akua coming pretty late in Akua in the season, but still managing to snag a third team All-Pro selection there. And Triste and Zeus putting in that support line work and getting that third team All-Pro. Congratulations to our third team All-Pro. Now, you know if our third team is that good, our second and first teams are bound to be even better. So let's go ahead and see what's going on in the second team All-Pro. It is going to be the tank line of Ox and Booney back together after the Sichuan Sweaty Gamers of Season 1. Wags and Cobalt coming in with some very strong DPS performances, getting that second team All-Pro nod, and Flip Flop and Macro evening out that support line in the back. And hey, that's a pretty stacked second team as well, so congratulations to our second team All-Pros for that selection. And for the first team, the best of the best at their position, it is going to be Rusty Goomba and Roar on that tank line. Khan and Mikey, the DPS duo from the Saigon Swans of last year, reuniting the Pizza Pirates buddies. And Frog and Hardchar coming in to do that support, that Gaming Golem support line, which did very well in the grand finals and playoff run for them. So congratulations to our first team All-Pro selection. Everybody on this list deserve their spot, of course, and a lot of these votes came down like 1 or 2 differences on their position between the first, second, or third team All-Pro, so everybody on here is very close, and I think we put a tournament between these 3 teams, it'd go the distance. Now, on to our first actual award here. It is going to be the Mr. and Mrs. Irrelevant Award. This, of course, goes to the player that was taken later in the draft, but still had one hell of a season and really got that value selection, later in the draft and really brought home for the team. So our first candidate is going to be Yeetmeister of the Oceania Otters. Came in and had a very solid play on that main tank. Allowed the Otters to make a kind of a comeback here at the season. A little bit of a push towards the end. Sadly, went out in the first round of the playoffs, but that, considering how rough their season started, the fact they brought it back is quite akin to Yeetmeister's performance on that Reinhardt. Very strong on that character as well as Wags, but Yeetmeister, very good for being so picked late in the draft. I believe he was a last round selection. So, on to our next candidate. It's going to be Marty, who played for the Wakanda BBQs, the PMA Privateers, and the Gagalopolis Gremlins. Very strong, solid player. Played a lot of different roles for teams. Played tank and DPS both, and that's a value pick from a later round if I've ever seen one, and had a very solid performance on, especially that Soldier 76 and that Zarya, which he's known for in the Pugs realm. And our final Mr. Mrs. Relevant is going to be Transflect, who came back after taking a hiatus from Season 2, as the captain of Season 1 of the Ramsey Rough Riders, but finally came back, was on the Tenochtitlan. I didn't say that correctly, but you know what? It's over. I don't gotta do it anymore. Tacos. And put in a very solid performance off that bench role. Came in and subbed in, played a lot of maps, and have found some success for that team, which again, just like the Oceanic Hours, made quite the comeback towards the end of the season. Now, your Mr. and Mrs. Irrelevant Award winner is going to be, drum roll, that's all like, oh my god, that just shook everything. We're not going to do that anymore. But the winner is going to be Yeetmeister. Came in and put on a very solid showing. Of course, as a Reinhardt player myself, I'm bound to notice things like that, but I think nobody can really argue with that Yeetmeister came in with the 56th pick in the draft and put on a performance that was well above the 56th pick. So, very good for Yeetmeister. A big player for him, and I look forward to his captainship next year. He came a pretty strong part of the community, so Yeetmeister making himself known coming in as a late round pick and winning Mr. and Mrs. Relevant. So, congratulations. I guess Mr. Relevant in this case, but congratulations to Yeetmeister. And now the next award is going to be the Best Caster Award. Who had the voice of the gods this season? Who truly brought it home for all of our stream matches? Now, let's start off here with the candidates. Corey is going to be a candidate. Corey, of course, a very unorthodox casting style, but you got to give it to the man. He's entertaining. He's made his brand. Underline, blank space, challenge, and just the production, the scuffed streams that Corey brings on. They're scuffed, but in a good way. They're the so bad it's good kind of category. We love Corey on the production team, and he put on a lot of matches this year. Fedora Master is going to be our second caster option here. Fedora Master coming in as a caster last year towards the end. Really kind of struggled at the beginning, but this season really found his spot. Really got good at the color casting and the analysis, getting it out quick, and bringing the entertainment as well, bringing the funny comments on the side, as well as bringing some great analysis. And of course, his casting duo partner, Flip Flop, again, came in late last year, struggled a bit to begin with, but this season really found her stride, got that play-by-play down, brought the energy, brought the excitement that you expect from Jamie. So, all very worthy candidates here for Best Caster. And there could sadly only be one winner for this year, and for me, it has got to be Fedora Master, the man who brought all 8 maps of the grand finals to you alongside me. It was a great time casting with them, both the semifinals round and the grand finals. He, of course, also casted the other semifinals game which I was playing in, so Fedora Master came in and clutched there at the end and did a lot of casting for us, so congratulations to Fedora Master on that selection. Congratulations, Fedora Master. Great casting. Hope to see you back in the booth next year, my friend. And the next award is going to be the Warmest Bench Award. This goes to the player who was more or less on the bench, I'd say about half the time at least. But when they came in, they put on a great performance and really showed up and showed out. So our candidates are going to be last year's Warmest Bench winner, Grandma, yet again coming with a very strong showing on the Bendigo Bilbies in that support role. The stats do show he was actually a top 10 Baptiste in terms of per 10 stats in most categories, including healing and eliminations. So, good for Grandma, coming in playing a different role. They had a hell of a season, the Bendigo Bilbies, going 8-1. Sadly, they came a little short up in the playoffs, but you cannot deny they had a great performance. Centurion, for his time on the Relto Rincewinds, as well as the Djibouti Shorts. Didn't play full-time on either team, so I decided he was worthy of a nomination at least. Because when Sent comes in to play either the Pharah or the Echo, or even sometimes like the Soldier 76, Centurion was a one heck of a performer. He's a fan favorite everywhere. Everybody loves a little bit of Centurion. So to see him come off the bench and put some good showings was always a treat and a pleasure. And the last candidate is going to be Strudel, who played DPS for the Gaming Golems. Didn't play all that much, but when he did show up, he was able to put on some pretty good showings, especially on that Hanzo, which of course Pop-Tart's known for, but not really Strudel, and the Sombra, which are kind of the two heroes in his main wheelhouse, where he really put on a show for the Gaming Golems early on in the season. And your Warmest Bench winner for Season 3 of Gopherwatch League is going to be Centurion. It was very close between him and Grandma, but Centurion, the DPS prowess he displayed on 2 teams, and just the ability to be flexible into both tank as well when they need, especially in the route to rinse wins. He played the Diva role sometimes in scrims, sometimes in matches, you know. So the flexibility off that bench was very important when making this selection for me. So congratulations to Centurion for winning the warmest bench. I hope to see him more in the starting lineup for next year on whatever team he gets drafted onto. So congratulations yet again. And now, the next award we go into is the PMA Peter / Patricia Award, the person who really came in the community, established themselves as a good, positive mental attitude person, really brought the happiness. It's basically, this award is somebody you can't hate, you know, that's what we go for. So, your candidates for the PMA Peter / Patricia are going to be, Etc. is going to be your first candidate. Etc. was asked to do a couple things on the Djibouti shorts that he hasn't been asked to do before, such as play that support role, play that tank, be very flexible, and Etc. was always very understanding, always kept a very positive attitude for his team, and you kept the comms up, and was just a good leader for that squad, I think, a good veteran presence in Gopherwatch for the Djibouti shorts, for their young players. So, Etc. gets that nod from me. Centurion, of course, a candidate literally every single year. Centurion is known as the PMA Peter. He is basically unstoppable when it comes to positive mental attitude. Nothing can break this man, especially losing the route to Rinswins as he did. It was a very devastating blow to him at midnight in South Dakota. He got the ping, he got the call, the bat signal turned off for the last time, but he still brought back for Djibouti shorts and still showed up and showed out and had a great attitude the whole time. And lastly, we have Paige, who came in as a free agent this year, but was always everywhere. You might recognize the purple heart emoji on like literally every single message that gets posted anywhere in a Gopherwatch League. That is Paige, and Paige, of course, always known throughout the league in a lot of streams, always in all the chat, always seeming to have a good time with everybody there around. So, not a very worthy candidate here for the PMA Peter / Patricia Award. And your winner for the PMA Peter and Patricia Award is going, of course, to be Paige. Paige coming in this year was a great addition to the community. I loved having them around. You know, they were always positive in the chat, always spreading that good vibes, either in the team chat they were in, either in the general chat, in the announcements, they were everywhere, spreading that purple heart. Always in Twitch chats as well. So congratulations to Paige for the PMA Patricia Award. Very well deserved. And now, next award is an award that doesn't really have a candidate list per se. It is going to be the Commissioner's Award. This, of course, goes to just my discretion of who I believe deserves a little more recognition for their work this season, whether that be on the field of play or even off the court, I guess, out of the game, out of the lobby, whatever you can say. And now, this one's very close to me. I wanted to give it to one of my admins this year because they put in a lot of work behind the scenes that was not seen before the season, during, and even after the season right now. I would say if this was a Season 4 award, the person who got second place in my my little headspace here was Macro. He's put in a lot of work recently to get Gopherwatch off the ground for Season 4, as well as looking to get some lands planned out and everything like that. Marco has been fantastic. But for Season 3, the pre-work and the during the season, it has to go to this specific admin alone, and that is going to be Ox. You know, Ox is always there whenever you need questions. He always brings up a different viewpoint on certain topics. He always has something to say, always an argument to make for the other side, and that led to a couple changes in the rules, a couple changes in our philosophy as well throughout the entire season. So, and of course, the work before with Etc., of course, on the draft of the sign-up sheet, getting that new SR calculation system down. That was Ox and Etc. So, congratulations, of course, Ox. To every admin out there, we know Ox is already out there making a 5-paragraph explanation of something that can be said in 2 words, but we love him for it. Congratulations yet again on the Commissioner's Award selection, Ox. Some recognition for all your work and hard work this year. Now, we're getting to the big awards next. So, our first award that's kind of big, I guess, if you want to think of it that way, is going to be the Best Captain Award. And there were so many candidates this year. Every captain did a great job. You know, making some trades. Some of them did, making some trades, but there can only be 3. And so we start off with Papa Triste, of course, an 8-1 record. Didn't need a free agent either to do any of that. I guess picked up Rinswin, but he sadly did not get to play. So basically, keeping the entire roster throughout the entire season, had a great draft. Of course, you gotta have a great draft if you go 8-1 with no real free agent acquisitions, and you keep running the same roster. Found those scrims, found that price for their team. built a positive attitude, or built a positive environment. I could definitely say, being in that text chat, the Bendigo Billboys always seem to be having a good time with each other, always stacking, always doing things outside of the game as well. So a great environment Papa Triste she built there. And next to be Caden. And I credit Caden a lot with with kind of the rebirth of the Oceania Otters, making that big pickup, that big trade for Sky midway through the season, especially even the beginning of the season as well. When they were started off 0-2, everyone's kind of down on them, but they came back, had a great showing, a great couple of weeks, which jumped straight up on our power rankings as well to number 2. So Caden able to lead that charge, able to lead that rebirth there towards the end of the year. So a great all-around showing there from Caden. But speaking of rebirth at the end of the year, I got a shout-out to Harchar of the Gaming Golems. Got Frog as free agent, but it wasn't just Frog alone that brought it back. It was Harchar's, it was his leadership, it was that team environment that he built, similar to Papa Triste and Caden. All of them built great team environments in their chat. Everybody wanted to play together. Everybody had a great time. Built up that family feeling between the team members, and that's what kind of propelled them to that grand finals victory there towards the end, especially the 8-map series. You gotta keep that mental up, you gotta keep that positive energy going, and that was definitely Hardchar all the way, with those bunny rabbit ears, of course, the cursed imagery that was the player cams. I'm glad the first time I had player cams, we had 2 people in bunny ears. That was unexpected, but hey, you gotta follow it up next year, guys. Gotta be something bigger. And your winner for Best Captain is going to be Papa Triste. An excellent showing as a captain this year. Was always on top of things, getting those matches scheduled very early. That's why they were, streamed quite a bit, because they always had their matches early. But getting those scrims, getting that practice, building that roster, taking a shot on Fancy, coming unknown entity in this league, of course, but no, in other places, other tier 4 leagues, but kind of unknown here, taking that shot on Fancy, of course, getting Khan as well definitely helps, but built a great team around those 2 star players and brought it together for an 8-1 season, and a little earlier than they probably expected or would have wanted, but a great all-around showing, and that definitely goes back to the head of the beast that was the Bendigo Billboys, Papa Triste. Congratulations on a well-deserved Captain of the Year. And our next award is going to be the Most Improved Player. This goes to the player who I felt really stepped up their game this year from last year and put on, I'm going to say it again, one heck of a show. So, starting off with Viraldane. Viraldane had a very strong showing this year. Always kind of one of the quieter ones in the back, not really doing too much, but this year really stood out to me for their excellent Mercy play, as well as picking up something like the break that they're not really exactly used to and trying it out. That's a great showing, and I mean, the Djibouti Shorts, the support line was not really the problem the entire year, and Viraldane was definitely part of that. Very strong showing from the Shorts towards the end of the season. Once they picked their stuff together, once they got it all together, started working, started melding, Viraldane was a part of that rebirth. And a Shitty Fish coming in from the Bendigo Billboys, of course, last year being on the Beebles, the Boys Areas Beebles, and kind of struggling, finding his spot. Was he playing main tank? Was he playing the main support role? Was he flexing DPS sometimes? This time, on the Bendigo Billboys, found his spot in that main tank showing, in that brawl composition, playing that Reinhardt and playing it to perfection most of the time, allowing him to make that space for his DPS, as well as taking advantage of the excellent healing from Triste and Grandma and Dirty Doge and Ribro and everybody on the team, but not Ribro, but you know what I'm saying. Shitty Fish had a great showing on the Reinhardt this year. Was very close to Rollstar, actually, only 2 votes short of making our All-Pro team, so people took notice of Shitty Fish's kind of great season compared to last year in the Beagles. And last but not least, it's going to be Hardchar. Hardchar last year was a very, very quiet player. Was just a very solid flex support. If you could say anything about Hardchar last year, he's just solid. But this year, he became a playmaking machine. Hardchar on that Baptiste, of course, showing off, putting up the heals, putting in the damage, putting in the great wins, the mortality fields, everything that Hardchar did this year on any character he played. Diana, perhaps, as well. Moira, just Hardchar had a great season. What can you say? Brought it all the way to a championship as well as being a captain on top of that. So, a lot of improvement there from Hardchar. I believe he was on my team in Season 1, and it didn't look like the same player. It looked like a much better player, and I'm very proud of him because he has won the Most Improved Player this year. There wasn't really even a doubt in my mind of who was going to go to after seeing him play in the finals and playoffs. Hardchar put in the work on support line, keeping Rusty Goomba alive. as well as going in a very aggressive Reinhardt unbind shift, but keeping him up for most of the time and allowing that team to pop off and taking home the win in map 8 fashion in the grand final. So congratulations to Harchar for taking home the most improved player. And now, the two biggins. Rookie of the Year. This is always a tough one for me to decide. This year with so many great rookies coming in, the league is growing so fast. Now, there wasn't really a sure-cut winner. At the beginning of the season, of course, there was, but once we got towards the later end and the free agents came in, there was a lot of questions that could be brought up on who actually was going to win it. So, starting off with our first candidate is going to be Frog. Frog, of course, coming in the Lucio menace to society, riding around on the walls, putting in the work, the healing, but sometimes, or actually, most of the time, having more damage than healing, which is pretty outstanding on the Lucio role, especially never seeming to die. Frog was kind of the unstoppable machine and the immovable object on that Lucio, so a great showing from Frog, especially in the grand finals, taking home our finals MVP. And speaking of finals, Whalefish, playing for the Wakanda BBQs, a really unknown entity coming into the league here, just kind of that diamond player, we're like, oh, very solid free agent, I suppose, but Whalefish came in and put on some carry performances, especially in the grand finals. There are a couple maps where he drug back from the jaws of defeat on just his clutch plays alone. So Whalefish, of course, more than deserving of this nomination for his outstanding DPS play, especially on that Hanzo. And now finally, last but not least, is going to be Wags. Wags was kind of touted as this big rookie coming in this year, played for the Oceania Otters, brought home some carry performance on that Doomfist, and, he also played for some other teams, but we're not going to talk about that here. A great showing from our Rookie of Peace Pirates DPS, and the winner of the Rookie of the Year is going to be Wags. Now, how did I come to this conclusion? Because Frog had a very good argument as well as Whalefish, but I think just because the longevity, the consistency of Wags being here since the beginning of the season, wasn't a late season, mid-season free agent acquisition, was there since day one, putting in the work for the Otters. So a true rookie, I guess, in that sense. So he's that number one draft pick. He's that quarterback you draft at number 3, to build your team around, and that's exactly what the Oceania Otters did, taking Wags there. So more than deserving of the Rookie of the Year. And congratulations to him on that for a great performance, as well as Frog and Whalefish. You guys were this close to getting it. Just come in a week earlier, probably on free agency, and you're probably going to get it. But again, a Wags consists their entire year, showing off excellence, as expected from Pete's Pirates player. Now, here we go. I'm glad the music kind of led into this, but we're finally here. The most valuable player. Now, before I announce the most valuable player, I gotta say something. There were 5 people within 1 vote of getting MVP this year. That's how much your voice matters. There's a 4-way tie for second place. But there can only be one real winner. The person who got 1 more vote. Who knows if they brought a bot in? Who knows if it was their grandma voting for him? But who's it gonna be? You know what? I'm gonna let chat put in their guess first, because I like to build the suspense a little bit. I'm sitting here with my arms crossed because I got nothing better to do. Alright. That's enough suspense. Drum roll, please. Mikey is going to be your MVP. And again, it was so close. There was, it was Fancy, Rusty Goomba, Mikey, me, and etc. all up there to get those wins. We were all 1 vote away, except for Mikey got the 1 he needed to take home the MVP for this year, but very well deserving of that award. The DPS carry of multiple squadrons this year. The Wakanda BBQs going all the way to the grand finals and the London Lumberjack Slams. That shows you how much your vote matters. So if you abstained, Weird Champ, raised hand, Weird Champ, if you abstained, you could have been the turning point. You could have brought Fancy the MVP, which he deserved. You could have brought Etc. the MVP he deserved. You could have brought Rusty Goomba the MVP he deserved. You could have brought me the MVP I didn't deserve. You could have done anything with your one vote. But you decided to abstain, and that's how democracy dies. Or something like that. And with that being said, that's our award show. That's our Season 3 awards finally out. And with that said, Season 3 is officially done and dusted. The book is closed on the summer season. So thank you all so much again for playing. I can give a couple updates here heading into Season 4 while we're at it. We have decided our 9th captain is going to be Varaldane, so congratulations to her getting that position, being that 9th captain. But we have enough signups that now we are going to be going to a 10-team format yet again, same with Season 3. We're still looking for that 10th captain. We'll let you know the second we get it, of course. But at the moment, we only have 9. I guess the next little thing I can say is for the Hidden Gems Combine, it's going to be tomorrow on this channel at 7 o'clock, I believe. Yes, it is. It's going to be on this channel. I believe it's going to be produced by Paige. So, PMA Patricia coming in and doing work already in Season 4. And our draft is going to be on Sunday, October 10th, starting at 6 p.m. CST. That's because I want to go to bed before 12 on draft night, which I didn't do last year because there's so much shenanigans that happened during and after the draft. So I want to give myself a little bit of buffer, which, smart move by me, wouldn't you say? That's really all I got for you at the moment. Again, from the bottom of my heart, we had one hell of a season. There's some ups and downs, but I think this is definitely the best one, especially the most competitive season we've had so far. And, you know, we had the charity live stream, which was, again, a huge success. So Season 3 will forever go down in the history books as one to remember. And I hope you all are looking forward to Season 4 as much as I am. For everybody, all the award winners on our list, for all my admins, for all my casters, all my producers, and all my players from Season 3, I've been Booney, and this has been Season 3 of the Gopherwatch League. Thank you all so much for watching. Have a great night. Stay safe, stay healthy, and have a great rest of your evening.